The Bulls have finished their first two Summer League games, and while they are 1-1, one bad loss and one really good win, the headline should be Patrick Williams. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome back to the TheSlamDuncan YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk about how well Patrick Williams is playing right now in the Summer League. Kind of talk about some of the other players, Marko Simonovic and Dosunmu specifically, and just kind of look forward to what Patrick Williams is doing and how he can take what he's doing in Summer League and put it into the regular season. But before we get into it, though, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into this, guys. So today, the Chicago Bulls beat the San Antonio Spurs in a comeback victory. I think they were down by 22 at one point, maybe it was 21. But first half was definitely awful, and they really ramped it up in the second half. Dosunmu had a big part in it. And this was a very good win for the Bulls Summer League team. Now, just kind of starting off this video by saying, when I talk about Summer League, I'm not really looking into, like, did the team win or lose that much. I'm actually more looking at individual stats, which is kind of the opposite of what I do, in the regular season. But for Summer League, we are kind of looking at specific players. And, I'm not saying that a specific player should be constantly calling their own number and taking every single shot when they go down the floor. But I am looking at what they do individually. Do they make the right pass at the right time? Are they reading the pick and roll well? Are they reading the defense well, right? And that's what I'm going to be doing right now for really three main guys. Patrick Williams, I think everyone should have, been watching if we're watching Summer League, right? He should have been at the top of your list. You should be constantly be watching Patrick Williams, and luckily the Bulls are giving us a lot of Patrick Williams. He's playing a lot of minutes in these Summer League games, and he's been the main guy, and it's been awesome to see. Marko Simonovic should be at the top of your list as well. 41st overall pick or 44th overall pick. I don't know which one it was. In last year's draft, and he finally came over. He was a drafting stash last year, so he should be someone that's top of your list. He's only 21 years old, so you should be watching him as well. And then obviously this year's pick, Dosunmu, in the second round. And I really want to talk about only Patrick Williams in this video, and then I will talk about Marko Simonovic and Dosunmu a little bit later. But I do want to break down film. I love doing this type of stuff. This is stuff that I really like to see, like to break things down and kind of, imagine these types of plays on, the regular season team. Patrick Williams going into the Summer League, there's a couple of things at play here. One, Patrick Williams did not have a Summer League in his rookie season. Obviously due to COVID and the regular season already being messed up and the playoffs going far late into the summer, right? We did not have a Summer League last year. And Patrick Williams, when he was drafted, he did not get a Summer League. The first time we saw him was preseason, and he came off the bench. So this is like a really good chance for him to, show out, show what he's done, show what work he's done in the offseason, and be the main guy on a team where you don't have, a bunch of other stars surrounding you, right? He's the main guy in this team, and he's going to have to show that he can carry this type of load, right? And number two, he's 19. So, obviously, last year he was 19 at the start of the season, but he won't turn 20 until into this season. So, we're looking at how much has Patrick Williams really grown. And there's two spots that I'm looking at specifically. One was his ball handling. This dude was drafted because of versatility. He is very versatile. He can guard multiple positions. He can score multiple ways. He's very strong, right? But a couple things that we saw, in his rookie season, that his ball handling is not the greatest at the time. Like, he was still pretty okay, especially for a rookie coming in, but he needs to improve on it, right? So one thing was his ball handling. Number two is his pick and roll. Now, this has been something that's been talked about on ESPN and all the broadcasts for the Chicago Bulls Summer League, right? The Chicago Bulls have been working out with Patrick Williams on his pick and roll ability, and this is something that's going to be critical for not just the Summer League and Patrick Williams, but also for the Bulls in the regular season. This needs to be something that he can do on an NBA level team, and I'm hoping that we get to see this in the regular season. And then for me personally, number three, I'm looking at just his confidence. This dude at times just seemed he looked very timid, and that's the last thing I want to see from Patrick Williams. We know that Patrick Williams is extremely talented. We know that this dude can do so many things on the court, but when he gets scared to shoot the ball or scared to, drive into the lane, that's where things go bad for him. He only takes 4 shots in a game, or he doesn't, shoot a wide open 15-footer when he should, right? We don't want that to happen with Patrick Williams, and hopefully this Summer League is going to completely change that. And he even said himself that he doesn't like being a very aggressive person, but this Summer League is to change that and mold him into an aggressive player. And it's so far working out very, very well. He's taken 20 shots or more in both games so far in the Summer League. So let's get into this video. I kind of want to break down some plays here. One of the things I'm looking at when it comes to ball handling for Patrick Williams, so this is looking at his ball handling, is his ability in transition. One of the things that I was really looking forward to last season in his rookie years, can he, get the ball off the glass and then go downhill and take it and then either score with it or, pass it to the wide open guy. And we saw little glimpses of it, but again, his aggression level was a little too low. He didn't always do this. He would always kind of pass to the point guard, right? But he has the ability to do this. We don't need to always pass it to the point guard, right? If he gets that rebound, I want him to go with the ball. And right here, he gets the ball and push in transition, and everyone's running with him. He's basically the guy kind of leading this fast break. And you can even see right here how effective this is. Because he's a forward and he's not a point guard, you see that everyone's like running back like, oh God, we got to get back, right? With these Pelicans right here. There's even a guy right here who doesn't even see the ball right now. This is the reason why this is important, because you can catch teams sleeping if your forward who rebounds it goes and takes it down the court. So right here, we see that he draws basically 3 defenders. Now, unfortunately, the other Bulls need to get there quicker. Like, Devon Dotson needs to be here already. But we see some of the other guys here. This is Amari Spellman. I think this is Thompson or Tompkins. I forget how to say his last name. But we see here that they're setting up at the 3-point line, which is good. And Patrick Williams does the right thing. He stays in the middle of the floor, 1, which he needs to do here. And number 2, he comes in and collapses the defense. We see that the Pelicans are all collapsing in on him. And then this is the next part for Patrick Williams. Does he make the right pass? Does he, right here, he should not be taking a shot, right? He should drive to the rim, but don't take the shot. That's too many guys you're dealing with at the rim. Make sure you make the right pass to the open man. And that's exactly what he does here. He draws the defense. Everyone's looking at him, collapses, wide open, 3-point shooter in the corner, makes the right pass. Perfect. Now, he did another play just like this, I think right after that play. Unfortunately, that highlight is not in this video. I wish it was, because it was just perfect. It was perfect to see Patrick Williams do that, because he needs to do that this upcoming season, and I'm very, very happy to see that. Next thing I want to show you here, and this is going to be like a really long clip of just Patrick Williams clips over and over here, was transition also, but kind of getting him or getting the ball and scoring by himself. Now this time, he's not rebounding the ball, but he can still be a threat in transition off ball, right? And I don't want him to be scared to cut or scared to drive to the rim if he catches that ball and goes, right? So right here, you just see only one man to beat here, and he does a perfect job of just, oh, that's only one guy right here. I don't have to worry too much. Go right past them, bang. He's strong enough to get past one guy, right? That's the great thing about Patrick Williams, is that he is extremely strong in an NBA-ready body, and we saw with his length and his verticality right here that he can go up and, slam it down. So really good here by Patrick Williams. Again, aggressive. Keep doing it. Now, another thing in transition, and right here, this is important, because we see with Patrick Williams that he's already, much more engaged in transition, or much more active in transition in just these 3 clips, right? But, again, can you be effective with the ball, but also off the ball? And right here, he catches the ball, and he makes the right read. Instead of taking this guy one-on-one, which wouldn't be smart, he sees Marko Simonovic coming down the lane right here. Perfect pass, and an easy layup for Marko Simonovic, which is another guy that's actually, I think, played pretty well in the Summer League so far. All right, now we get into some of the good stuff here, because this is a play that I think... this is a half-court play, right, which is important, because this is a play that I think the Bulls are going to be running for him this season when he's on the Chicago Bulls team, because his mid-range game is deadly. We already saw it in his rookie year that he can shoot it from mid-range, and this is a play right here that I actually think can be ran very effectively. We might even see DeMar DeRozan run this play as well, but right here, it's a little pin-down screen, but we're going towards baseline here, and he catches the ball, and he could pass it out to Simonovic here, but I like the fact that he sees that his defender's late and the big man's coming over right now, so he can just rise up and go ahead and bank it off glass from about 10 feet, which is good. Again, that's a play that I can see the Bulls running this upcoming season. Now, pick and roll. Again, we heard it in the ESPN broadcast. We have we have known that the Bulls are working out with Patrick Williams and his pick and roll game. And it's not just his ability to score off the pick and roll, but can he read the pick and roll properly, right? One of the things that people don't understand about the pick and roll is that if you're not, looking to score off the pick and roll, then the pick and roll is basically ineffective. You need to be able to look for your own shot and shoot your shot at the right time, or else the pick and roll is basically useless. You're not helping your team if you're not aggressive off the pick and roll. And right here, we're going to watch Patrick Williams read this pick and roll perfectly, okay? So he gets the ball at the top of the key, which is where he's been doing most of his damage so far in the Summer League. And pick and roll Marko Simonovic. Now, he's going to come off the screen here. Now, right here, it's for him. He needs to read his man. What he does he go over the screen or under the screen? And also then the big man, who could either be in a hedge situation, he could be in a blitz, right? He could be in a drop. So we don't know what they're going to be doing here, but he needs to read it and make the right decision, okay? So he comes off the screen right here. Now, he sees that his man went over the pick. So now he knows that his man's behind him, okay? So now it's up to him to make the decision between, does he take it right to the rim because the big man is completely in no man's land, right? And he can drive right past him. Does the big man come up to him, which then leaves Marko Simonovic wide open for a roll right into the lane? Or does the big man decide, I'm going to make sure that I guard Patrick Williams, but I'm not going to be, up in his face, right? I'm not going to come up close to him. I'm going to stay back here, right? He needs to read this, and he's done a very good job of this so far in Summer League. He reads this extremely well, and he has that mid-range game, right? And he sees that this big man is basically dropping down. He's still guarding Patrick Williams in the ball, but he's too far low to pass it to Simonovic for Simonovic to get a wide open layup. And he's not coming up close, so there's no reason to pass to Simonovic. And he's still in a good enough position where he can't just drive right by him. So what does he do? Pull up from 15 feet. And this is perfect by Patrick Williams. Even with this defender coming right by his right side, that's very, very annoying for a shooter. And he was still able to knock that down. That's good concentration by Patrick Williams. Next thing here. Actually, I think that's all. That's it for that little clip here. Moving on to then the Spurs game. Now, again, I'm going to talk about the pick and roll. So we saw Patrick Williams, go under the screen, his defender goes over the screen. He reads it really well, and we're going to basically kind of watch a different situation here. A similar situation here. So again, he goes over the screen, but you have to be watching what the defender's doing. This time, you see that the Spurs defender, the Spurs big man who's in this pick and roll, he comes up, right? So Patrick Williams, seeing that already, and him taking away that mid-range shot, he's already picking up the ball, looking to pass it to Simonovic. And Simonovic does a good job screening here, and he's already rolling to the rim. Well, now all of a sudden you're going to see a defensive breakdown completely, because all of a sudden the Spurs completely had no idea what they were doing. No communication between these two players. Both guys go to Simonovic's hard roll, which again is very important, and he's done a good job so far this Summer League in doing that. And if both guys go to Simonovic, you know what Patrick Williams needs to do, right? And that's shoot the ball. And you got to shoot this with confidence, and if you do, then the pick and rolls can be very, very effective. And right there, again, perfect job bringing the defense. He was already ready to make that pass, right? You saw him pick up the ball, but when both defenders go to Simonovic, he's got to shoot it, right? He does a good job right there doing that. Now, here's a different play of the pick and roll. This time, you're going to see a different defense as well. So that last time we saw that the big man actually stepped up, right? The first clip, the big man was dropping down. Now we're going to see the big man, or now we're going to see a completely different defense with his main defender. He's going to go under the screen. So a little handoff here, initial screen set. Now we're going to actually run the play. You see that his man goes under the screen completely, and Simonovic, again, another good screen. But if this is the case, if your man goes under the screen and he doesn't come out to you in time, and the big man is absolutely nowhere near in sight, that completely eliminates Simonovic from this situation. He is not a threat to score. You are now the threat to score now, because your man went under the screen, basically giving you the jump shot. And Patrick Williams right here is like, okay, if you're going to give me the jump shot, I'm just going to pull up in your face. Bang. And this is the reason why people talk about with DeMar DeRozan that, oh, he's not a great three-point shooter. How is he that effective in the pick and roll? The pick and roll doesn't have to be always at the, very far out from the three-point line, right? It doesn't have to be Steph Curry range, okay? The pick and roll can be, right at the three-point line and still be extremely effective and the shooter can only shoot from mid-range. Patrick Williams, we've seen in these summer league games that he's actually really worked on his three-point shot. But for someone like DeMar DeRozan, who isn't that great of a three-point shooter, you see why the pick and roll is so effective with him, right? Because if you can just shoot it from 18 feet, that's still enough for the defense to overextend themselves or, make a defensive mistake or a miscommunication. And it shows why the pick and roll is still effective without an elite shooter handling the ball. So that's the reason why I think all those people saying, well, DeRozan can't shoot, that's not good. Like, no, you're wrong. DeRozan understands his game very well, and he is a very good pick and roll player, and he's already been talking with Patrick Williams how to help his pick and roll game, which is going to be good for Patrick Williams as well. Last thing here is this. This is where I got extremely excited, and it's not just because, the Bulls are making shots to win a game here. This is something that we did not see at all from Patrick Williams last year, and this is something I thought that he could do in his rookie season. Unfortunately, he did not really show it. But this is something that if he can implement this into his game right now, then we're talking about a Bulls team ceiling that absolutely just skyrockets through the roof. Because this is special right here. And this is the reason why I think Patrick Williams is going to be a superstar at some point in this league. And Bulls fans need to get excited about this because this is him doing this right now. He's 19. Understand that. He is 19 years old right now. Just keep that in mind. So, right here, this is a very good play run by the Bulls in crunch time. And I'm happy to see that they know who to go to in crunch time here. It's go to Patrick Williams and let him do all the work. And right here, you're going to see basically, I like to call this like a drop play. It's kind of off of 2K terms. But you're going to see a post up here by Patrick Williams over here on the block. And you're going to see the big man throw it to him from the pinch post down into the low post here. And this is a very good play for multiple reasons. One, spacing. Just look at the spacing right now. This is very, very effective. Number two, it gets the big man out of the paint. Because one of the things when you put a guard or a forward, like someone that's not your big man, down into the post, what kind of eliminates one of their options to effectively work in the post is to drive into the lane if the big man's there, right? So big man is out of the paint right now, which is good. So you throw it down to Patrick Williams, down onto the low block here, and this is special, man. This is really, really special stuff. Like, this is stuff that we see Kawhi Leonard doing, right? And again, I'm not trying to make that comparison, but if he can harness this type of play and put this into NBA games, man, we're looking at someone special here. So you see here, face up, and this is all it takes, man. His mid-range game is already elite at 19 years old. You face him up, the defender is too slow to react and also just can't block your jump shot. Rise right over him, bang. Again, this is crunch time too. So this isn't like, oh, we're just kind of running a play just because we want to. Like, this is crunch time. This is your go-to man in crunch time. Game slows down, you give it to your star. Again, same exact play right here, except that this time he has to come out a little bit more to get the ball. So he's almost close to the three-point line when he catches this ball. But again, face up, take your time, and see what the defense is giving you. Right now, he sees, okay, I just did a face-up onto you and drilled a jumper in your face. This time, though, he sees that the defense is nowhere near the paint right now, even though everyone's watching him. And if they come and collapse, he's got shooters everywhere. So faces up again. This time he drives. Baseline, which is something I pointed out in my first ever video of Patrick Williams, that his baseline game is extremely good. It's extremely effective. He is very good baseline. And he puts in a floater from the baseline, and that's just special stuff right there. If he can have a face-up, post-up game, oh man, we're looking at a great Bulls team all of a sudden this upcoming season. And again, he's 19. He's going to get better. This dude's going to get better. I am very, very excited just seeing Patrick Williams play so well in just 2 games. Now, the Bulls have 2 more games scheduled for Summer League, so hopefully he continues this level of play. Hopefully he still gets these amount of the big amount of minutes he's getting right now. I'm very, very excited to see him play with the big league team, because this is great stuff by Patrick Williams. Now, I don't have any video pulled up for Marko Simonovic or Dosunmu. I will say that I think Marko Simonovic has started out the Summer League pretty good. I've liked what I've seen so far from him. He is a very good screener. I think he understands that he needs to set good screens. He can't just slip every screen, right? He does a very good job so far at screening, so hopefully that continues. I think he understands his game really well. He doesn't depend on the three-point line for a big man. This is something that I think is very important because I think too many people depend on the three-point line now. And he was looking to play big first and then, extend to the three-point line. Like, we know that he can shoot that three ball, but if you play big first as a big man, that helps your game so much. Then you can look to take the three-point shot if it's available to you. But we saw from Simonovic that he understands that he's a big man first, and he looks to score in the paint first. So that's good to see. And also, like, can he play center? That was kind of one of my questions, because a lot of people kind of have him listed as that backup power forward right now, which I don't know if that's going to be the case. I think he's shown that he can actually play reserve minutes so far, but I would kind of like to see like a Paul Millsap kind of come in and hopefully fulfill the backup power forward position. But he's shown, at least in Summer League play, that he can play the center spot, and that's actually good to see, because I want to make sure that he's able to stay in the paint effectively and not get completely bodied by big man centers in NBA play. So that's good to see as well. He does need to work on some things. One is definitely his rebounding. His rebounding is not the greatest, which is kind of unfortunate because I thought he would be a better rebounder, but he definitely needs to work on his rebounding. He does not box out very well at the moment. And the last thing is definitely like core strength, so finishing at the rim first, because right now he's using his size to be able to finish in the paint right now, but he definitely needs to work on his core to help him finish at the rim, which will also help him box out bigger guys, and also with his verticality, if he can ever protect the rim at any point, if he gets that core strength and able to take a hit into his chest, that's going to help him stay vertical when he's defending the rim. So that's kind of stuff he needs to work on. But again, though, we're looking at a 21-year-old. So all these guys that I'm talking about right now, like, yeah, they have flaws, but they're young. They have plenty of time to work on their game. Last guy I want to talk about is Dosunmu, because I think he's the last guy that has a for sure spot on this Bulls roster coming up. Ayo did not play well in his first game. He looked kind of nervous, and the nerves kind of getting to him, and that makes sense. He missed a couple of free throws in his first game, but I did think out of his first game, even though he didn't score a lot and he didn't do a lot of things, like, he showed that he can, one, play off guard, because a lot of people are like immediately calling him a point guard, and I'm like, I don't think he's really a point guard, and I think he has the ability to understand the intangibles of being an off guard, and he showed that in his first game, even though he didn't do too much. Second thing is that he can be a pick and roll playmaker. I honestly think that he can, whether it is him being the lead initiator in an offense or being the secondary ball handler in an offense, that he can definitely be a pick and roll threat. So that's good to see from Dosunmu. His second game, though, against the Spurs, he played extremely well, in my opinion. First off, I did not know he had this much speed. With the ball in his hands, he can absolutely fly with the ball in his hands in transition. So we're going to see Dosunmu absolutely thrive in transition this upcoming season. I do not know how much play he will get, but if he does get any play, we're going to see him absolutely thrive in transition. And secondly, his defense is very, very good. Now, people are kind of saying like, his defense isn't that great. I'm like, I disagree. I mean, he does look a little bit smaller than 6'5", which is okay, because it's not like him saying like, oh, I'm 6 foot, but he's really like 5'10". So that's all right for me if he's like 6'4". I have no issue with that. He can easily guard both guard positions, which is good. He already looks like he has a pretty solid frame already, so that's good as well. But we saw his active hands in this game against the Spurs. His hands are very, very good on defense. He is also I don't want to say like he's nagging, but like he can really get up into a guy. He's pretty good on defense, and I'm really, really happy to see that. One thing I am kind of like, a little shocked at right now is that he hasn't really shown much of like a catch and shoot game, which I thought that he could definitely do. But so far in Summer League, with this Bulls team not having that much shooting on the court anyway, he's not really getting that many opportunities because guys are kind of staying on to him, knowing that he's actually one of the better shooters on the team. So hopefully you get to see that in preseason ball. But I would like to see him, kind of be like a catch and shoot guy. But he has shown he's a playmaker. He's shown he's a pretty good defender. He has active hands, and can absolutely just fly in transition, man. Like, he can explode to the rim in transition. So good to see from Dosunmu. He had an incredible game, in my opinion, against the Spurs, and he really basically sparked a comeback against the Spurs. So that's all I have for you guys on this update for the Bulls Summer League players. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.